Welcome to 719 FPV. I'm Nick Roberts, and today we are going to be talking about my experience flying the TinyGO 4K exclusively for 4 months as I'm getting into the FPV hobby. I decided to make a review video right now because I just had a crash where I just destroyed the bottom of the frame of the TinyGO. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm missing one of my battery retainers, and there are no supports going from the center. Here is a good comparison of what it's supposed to look like, where I'm missing quite a bit of plastic over here. I was flying in the morning, so maybe the cold is a factor to that breaking, but 4 months of the abuse I put it through, and now I'm getting my first break, is pretty impressive. So I figured I'd talk about my experience so far and what I think about the whole kit overall. If you're watching this video now, I'm sure you've seen all of the unboxings and the reviews, so I'm not going to get too in-depth with everything that comes in the ready-to-fly kit. But I will go over it just real quick. First thing is the carrying case. It fits everything you need, holds your controller, goggles, and you can actually fit a couple of drones in there, a couple of the TinyGOs. So, and I really like the bag. It's really durable. It's held up for, I tote it around pretty much everywhere I go, and it's great for what it does. So, no bad things about the bag. The next thing that comes in the ready-to-fly kit would be the goggles. I have no complaints about these box goggles. They are comfy on my face. There's almost no light leak, at least for me. Everyone's face is different, so you get what you get. Straps were fine with me. I didn't mind them. I'm still having the linear antennas that come with it. I think the range is honestly probably as good as you need. As far as the range of the receiver that comes on the TinyGO anyway. So the channel search works every single time. After you have established your video channel, it remembers it over and over. No complaints with the goggles. DVR is good. Only gripe about the DVR is it'll record for 3 minutes and then it'll start a new recording. So you get a little skip in a few frames or so, maybe like 1 second. Not the biggest deal, but yeah. If you've seen some of my previous videos, I have posted of the DVR footage from these goggles. Check that out. That's treetops and one of my first what it looks like to fly the TinyGO 4K. That is straight footage from the goggles. So take a look at that, see what you think. I will say video footage that comes uploaded onto the internet through YouTube is actually not nearly as good as what you see in the goggles. So take that with a grain of salt as you watch those videos. But goggles are actually the first thing I upgraded, as if you've noticed in some of my videos, I've been wearing some red goggles, where I decided, as I fell in love with this hobby, that I am gonna go all in. So I went and purchased some Skyzone 04Xs. I don't know if you can read that, but anyway. I got some Skyzone goggles. I'm still using the linear antennas that came with the goggles. But this was probably the best upgrade I could have made so far, as the biggest difference, obviously from box goggles to the binocular style goggles, they look cooler. But also, well, obviously the receiver is a little bit better signal. It is true diversity. Skyzone has its own built-in receivers, but with the 04Xs, you can actually go ahead and install some aftermarket receivers if I wanted to. But this has worked great for me, and I don't think I'm gonna really need to upgrade that anytime soon. with these goggles, the resolution that you get in the screen is 800 by 480, which is still pretty decent. I didn't have any issues like identifying objects while I'm flying through my backyard, but compared to, I mean, the top of the line Skyzones right now is 1280 by 960. So you get a much higher quality image within these goggles, as well as you can fully adjust everything in these, honestly. But if you want to see a comparison video, let me know in the comments. That might be for a future video. I decided if I am gonna do a big upgrade like that, I might as well get something that I won't need to upgrade in the future. So I should have these pretty much for the rest of my FPV hobby. That is until everything goes digital. But until that day, I'm gonna be sticking with my O4Xs. Did I go over that already? But these goggles were my very first upgrade, and I couldn't go back. But I do like to carry these around though, just so I can have, if somebody wants to watch my flying, I can give them these. And the screen in here is actually big enough where they don't have to fully put them on. They can actually just hold it and just kind of watch it just as a standalone screen. So that's nice. But yeah, goggles, #1 thing to upgrade. It'll just change the whole experience, as you will just finally be able to see everything, and it's amazing. But final thing that really comes into main thing of the package anyway is the controller. I don't really have any complaints with it. I don't really have much experience with any other real controllers, so I don't have too much of an opinion on it. But it connects fine with, when I plug it in to Betaflight, it connects right away. It's got the 3 channels, so I actually use the one controller when I'm flying the 4K drone. And I can just switch the channel over and fly the non-4K. I'm using the same one, so that's nice. I only need to carry around one controller. So that's nice. It's comfy in my hand. It's not bad. And the range is pretty decent. Thinking I might do a range test video, but let me know if that's something that you would want to see. But as of now, I haven't really found an area where I really fail safe, at least before I am uncomfortable with the video. So nothing bad about this, but I do know once I decide to upgrade my controller, I will need a new receiver for my drone, as I believe that these little TinyGO receivers they're very GepRC specific, and anything OpenTX, I don't think it really supports it. So I will probably be buying some receivers as well as a new controller in the future. That way I can keep flying the TinyGOs. But that's the main things in the kit. One thing, the little charger that comes with the kit charges 4 batteries at a time. Takes about an hour to do a full charge, of 4 batteries. It works. I did have one on this guy, the charger that came with it. One of them stopped working, so that's a bummer, but yeah. And of course, in the Ready to Fly kit is the TinyGO. I have loved this little guy. Learning to fly FPV with this has been a blast, and I have just fallen in love with the hobby. Like I've said, I've been flying it for 4 months now, and I just broke the frame for the first time, and I have not been kind to this. I have crashed and crashed and crashed and crashed, and as it stands, it is still flyable. I mean, of course, I have also broke a prop, so I need to, that's actually my first prop, so I will be changing that out. Kit comes with spare props, so that's not a big deal. But luckily, when I did purchase my new batteries, I went ahead and got some new frames, just in case when the time would come. That time is now. But the TinyGO has been amazing so far. It's been super fun to fly. No real big issues. I mean, right about the three month mark, the DVR board failed on me. So I had to buy a new one of those, install it. It was super easy. But other than that, I've had no issues with it. It's been great. The antenna that comes with it, this little linear antennas, I have actually lost 2 of them so far. They're somewhere in my backyard. Maybe I'll find them one day. But the little UFL connector, I believe is what it's called, is the connection type. Once it pops off once, it is a pain in the butt to keep it on. So one of the first things that I have done is I have, instead of having the antenna pop out the top of this little hole, I now have it sticking out the back, secured with a zip tie. But big thing is I 100% recommend, let's see if I can get a better view on this. So here you can see how I have that zip tie running from up here slightly down. I definitely have it out of the prop guards, so it is tucked in there and it sits underneath the battery, but with it running diagonal over here, you can see how it runs over the top of the connector, keeping that connection nice and snug. There's a good shot of it. So yeah, 100% recommend if you have an issue with your VTX antenna coming off. Find the smallest, thinnest zip tie you can and going diagonal right across the bottom like that is pretty perfect to get over the top of that UFL connector. And that's pretty much all the negatives I have about this little guy. It's just DVR board went out on me. Easy replace at 40 bucks. Not too bad, but still a bummer. I've lost a few of these antennas. Again, they're like $6 each, super cheap. Just buy a bunch. Also the frame, it was also like $6. So if you're gonna be ordering anything from GepRC and you have this kit, just go ahead, get a few antennas, get a few frames, get a handful of batteries, and you will be good to go. Because I have pretty much reached the limit of this guy, I think, but I don't know, I keep learning new stuff and I keep seeming to push it further, so I will keep flying it as much as I can. But now that means I have to transfer everything from this frame over to a brand new frame. While I have everything taken apart, it's going to be super easy to add my next little upgrade. I am just going to upgrade the VTX antenna to this little lollipop style. It is a true RC right-hand polarized antenna with the same UFL connector, so it should just pop on just fine. But for those of you that are unaware, as I have recently learned, you want to match your antennas. So your VTX antenna should match your receiving antenna. When I say that, I mean if you have a linear antenna, you should also have linear antennas. So I've got a right-hand polarized, so I also got a right-hand polarized antenna for my goggles. And again, I went ahead trying to only try to do one purchase, so I don't have to keep buying things over and over. I'm sure I will eventually need to replace these, but I've got the Luminaire Axie long range, and I've got the Luminaire Axie patch. So these guys should hold me over on my goggle antennas for quite a while, and I'm really excited to see how much of an improvement there actually is. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see a straight goggle to goggle comparison from what you get in the GepRC Ready to Fly kit compared to the top of the line analog goggles there are at the moment with the Skyzone 04X2s. Yep, V2s. Yeah, let me know. But yeah, that'll be it. So let's get to work. And that'll do it. The TinyGO is back to 100% plus some with the upgraded VTX antenna. I'm excited to see if the right-hand polarized antennas really do make much of a difference. Let me know if you'd like to see a video of a true comparison side by side of the video quality from going right-hand polarized versus linear. There it is, found it. But yeah, I hope you found this at least entertaining, if not informative, to help you decide if the TinyGO is for you. I love it. It's made me fall in love with the hobby, and I've been sucked in. So, but that'll do it. I love you, and if you've liked this, please think about subscribing. I appreciate every single one of you. And I will see you on the next one. Love you guys. Bye.